Welcome, guys, to another Voice of Nick live stream. We're going to be doing more coloring of books on today's program, assuming everything works properly. I got a bunch of colored pencils here. I got a book here for coloring, made specifically for the purpose of coloring. And we're going to color in said book. And I think, with a little luck, we might be able to do the rest of this page that we've been working on. So I'm excited. I hope you're excited. If you don't know the channel, it's called The Voice of Nick. I play video games live 3 times a day on this channel. I don't talk over story or cutscenes, but I do request no gameplay or story spoilers. Of course, none of that matters today because I'm out of town on vacation. I am in the East Coast, getting ready to go see Hamilton on Broadway. So I am not in my video game area. But I'm excited to be doing some nice, relaxing coloring book show. So let's do it, baby. Let's play some coloring book games. I noticed a couple of leaves weren't really colored in for this section. So I wanted to get a couple of them sort of completed. There actually are. I don't know why I thought that. Maybe I didn't color the stalks as much as I did on the other side. It just looks more vibrant over here than it does over here, and I'm wondering what. Maybe I need to put more sort of decisive green areas in. So maybe we'll kind of come in with some darker shades. Welcome Space Dust to the stream. First in the chat. We just started the show. So welcome. Sorry to everybody about the email blast that went out like a hour or so ago about the stream being live. Good old internet issues. Gotta love it. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna dirty some of these leaves here. I'm gonna make some of these green ones into fall leaves. So they're in the process of turning yellow or orange or whatever. I like that. All right, let's start moving inwards towards this area. So start coloring in some leaves. I like doing these streams when the internet works. I mean, that's the thing is when I'm out of town, you never know how reliable the internet is actually going to be in various places. So it's always pretty stressful to try and set up one of these things because you don't know at all if it's going to work. And that's what happened earlier. So can't win them all, I guess, but with fingers crossed, hopefully it's working now. So there's that. What's everybody doing on this fine Friday? Is it a Friday? I think it is. I don't have any concept of time or space anymore. Friday, that's where we are. That's the day we're on. Got work today? You doing anything fun after work? Or if you're not going to work today, then what are you up to? Anyone in that chat? All right. I don't know why these colored pencils are always the sort of area where the pencil goes or where the graphite or whatever it is goes. It's not it doesn't stay. It falls out of the wood. I'm not sure if that's just the way that these particular ones are made or what. I don't know if I'm shaking the camera when I do this, or because I'm shaking like this entire table, and I don't know if it shakes the camera or if the camera shakes at the exact same rate as the table itself, so then it doesn't look like it's shaking. I'll have to. It's hard to keep an eye on it because the camera. It looks like it's not actually shaking that much when I. Yeah, it's not shaking that much on camera. But you can see the coffee mug shaking. That's the funny part. Because the camera is shaking exactly with the table. So you can't tell really that it's shaking that much, hopefully. But the coffee mug moves. I love that. It's like Jurassic Park. Space Dash just finished walking my puppy. Nice. Sounds like a good way to start your day. Okay, so let's get some brown leaves in here. Looks like we already started in with some brown leaves earlier. Let's get some more of those. There we go. So if anyone's just tuning in, the channel is called The Voice of Nick. I play video games live 3 times a day, every single day. I don't talk over story or cutscenes, but I do request no gameplay or story spoilers in the stream. Of course, none of that matters today because I'm out of town. So I'm on vacation a little bit, back in good old New Jersey, and we're going to be seeing Hamilton later today. So I'm really, really excited. But of course, if I'm not in LA, that means I can't do my streams, my video game streams at least. So we're going to have 3 non-video game related streams going up today, tomorrow, possibly the next day as well. So keep an eye out for those, guys. Of course, it won't be the normal schedule of programming, but I hope that you will still enjoy what I got to show you, because there's going to be some fun stuff coming up. Space Test saying, welcome back to the East Coast. It's nice to be here. Got some of that nice winter's chill, which you don't get too much in LA. It's nice to have it. I'm a person who actually enjoys the cold weather. So it doesn't do much for my hands and my lips. I get all, my hands get all dry. My lips get all chapped when I'm on the East Coast, which is a bummer. But otherwise, good to be here. All right, so we got a bunch of stuff going on here. I don't want to put too much orange near the feet, even though we're gonna. It probably doesn't matter because we'll probably have a lot of shadow near the feet since we have this larger shadowy area here. But I still don't want it to get confusing. I'm sort of running out of variety of colors in these leaves. You see, like I can't really find any good spots for, like, whenever I put a color down, it's like right next to, it turns out it's right next to itself somewhere. There we go. Can Mooney is in here. Color. Welcome Can Mooney to the stream. We are coloring once again. I'm excited. I love doing these. I actually think about them when I am doing video game streams. Like, oh man, I kind of want to do a coloring book stream. Maybe I'll do some of these in LA as well. But when given the opportunity to play video games, it always is sort of hard to resist because I have, as you guys know, so many video games in my backlog that it's like, you know, you kind of have to keep going through them or else you're going to get buried by that backlog, baby. BBBB, buried by the backlog, baby. I like coloring the flowers. I mentioned it before, but it's like to color a flower. I mean, I'm not being like the most, comprehensive about coloring it, but if you do it the way I'm doing it, you can just make a circle and then it basically colors in the entire flower. Good stuff. Space Dust saying, it's a little chilly. Yeah, just the way I like it. Where are you? What state are you in, Space Dust? I gotta sharpen some of these pencils. They're definitely not. They're getting a little dull. And we need some yellow flowers in here. I've used the brighter yellow, but it seems kind of like the brighter yellow kind of seems unnatural in nature. It's more of like a color you'd use for other stuff. Maybe for like highlights or something. See, the difference between this area and this area is that I guess I do have some green leaves. I don't have as many. Space Dust saying New York, nice. Very cool. Alright, so I have to get, it's coming along pretty well. We got to get some of these ones up in this area. And it's hard sometimes to kind of delineate which parts are supposed to be the bird and which parts are supposed to be leaves. Because the feathers kind of look like leaves. But I think we can sort of get it. Oh, Space Dust just got Dark Souls on Switch. Nice. Enjoy that. You can rage on the go. Have you played Dark Souls before, or is that your first time playing? That is going to be fun. I was thinking about if I wanted to get it on Switch. But when I wanted to do it for the stream, I don't think it was out yet on Switch. I believe it just came out, right, for the Switch? Alright, so we're ready to sort of like fill in this area, I think. Let's not wander off too much. I'm trying to, instead of like doing the whole thing, I'm trying to like do like areas, like kind of make a wave over. So let's sort of start filling this in. And I'm doing it with like a light pass of colored pencil first of green. But then I'm going to sort of like come in and darken zones like we did for the other parts. Just to give it like shadow and like a little bit more texture. But I don't want to make it a dark area at first, or else it'll be like, it'll be too flat, I think. So we're coming in with the light green at first. And then you'll see what happens here. It's hard to get the corners of the page. Space is saying first time today. Wow, cool. That's awesome. Cheers, Space Dust. Enjoy the game. But definitely, I don't know if you've played any other Souls games before, but if you haven't, my number one um, piece of advice that you'd probably seen from the streams as well is to have a lot of patience. So just be ready for anything to happen, and it'll still surprise you. But as long as you're ready for anything to happen, at least you won't get as frustrated as a lot of people who go in. People lose their crap over Dark Souls. Like, the one thing I'd be scared of if I had Dark Souls on Switch is that I might smash my Switch because it is a thing that you're holding in your hand. At least it's not like you're smashing your controller with a normal video game console, but like the Switch is the controller. So be careful of that. But you're gonna love it. That's the funny thing is like the measurement of how good a Souls game is like how badly you want to smash your controller. But they're such good games. Like Dark Souls is one of my favorite games of all time. Gotta get this one leaf in here. Oh, we have these leaves too. I didn't even notice these ones. See, it's easier to notice the ones you didn't color in once you start putting in the stalks. Space Dust saying good advice. Thanks, Space Dust. It's definitely it's gonna be a heck of an adventure. But you'll also have some pro tips from having watched the Dark Souls playthrough. So you'll have like some vague ideas. I'm sure you don't remember it 100%, but you know, if you're in an area, you go, "Oh, I remember we did this thing or that thing," then it might help you through a couple of the tough spots. Send some hearts for Space Dust, who's going into the abyss of Dark Souls for the first time, baby. All right, I'm really putting a lot of orange in this area. Let's get some coffee. All right, so we could probably shade. Oh, you know what? I wanted to come back through with more defined green. So let's just start doing that. See how that kind of just gives it a little bit of like a shading sort of quality to it. You don't have to be super accurate with it, but as long as you get a little bit of that in there, it sort of suggests shading of a sort or some level of complexity. Okay, so on this lower area, this lower layer of the owl, we want to have the shadows draw longer than in the upper area because I guess the implication is that the light is coming from, it seems to be coming from this direction, so maybe even a little bit less long of a shadow. Like this is the longest area, this is slightly less long. But we're kind of occluding everything just so that he pops from the background. Just because it's such a complex, there's so much like visual noise that we don't want the owl to get lost. Cool, that looks good. It's nice to have the camera where I can see like what is coming out, because like you can kind of check if it looks good in certain spots, or like, you know, in a thumbnail view, because it's hard when you're right here looking at the page from like 2 inches away. It's harder to see like from a bird's eye perspective, you know, how the shadow looks, or, you know, if the shadow looks like too thin in one area or too thick in another area. Like, it's just hard because you don't have the macro level view. Alright, let's get a bunch of flowers in here. We may even start on a new drawing during this show. We're only, what, 22 minutes in? We haven't been going for very long. And we're already in the final sort of quadrant here. I'd say we're maybe like 85% done, because the owl was a major part of doing the picture as well, so that accounts for 10 of that percentage. Sakura93 is in here. Welcome, Sakura93. We're coloring a Harry Potter coloring book right now. I am almost done with this page, which is the owl delivering his letter. I say it's Hedwig, even though Hedwig wouldn't have delivered his letter to Hogwarts. It's part of my headcanon, okay? Maybe Hedwig was employed by Hogwarts, and then they put him up for sale, and then Hagrid bought him for Harry. Hagrid bought her for Harry. That's my explanation. Anyway, we're coloring a Harry Potter coloring book here today. Welcome to the program. What is your Hogwarts house? Should we get everybody to say what their Hogwarts house is when they come into the stream? I think we should. So what's everyone currently on the stream's Hogwarts house? Mine is Slytherin. And when I took the test, I only just read the books like a year ago, and now I'm rereading them. And when I took the test, Daniela, of course, made me take all the tests when I read the books, and I came out of Slytherin, and I was saying like, oh man, I don't want to be Slytherin. They're the evil ones. But then I was reading about it, and most of the famous ones are evil. But I guess the qualities, I understand why I would be Slytherin, because of like the qualities that it does. I mean, if you guys know about how I do 3 streams every day, 7 days a week, you know, never stopping, whatever, I guess the idea of that is very similar to like a Slytherin kind of quality, where they're really stopping at nothing to sort of like get ahead. And that is certainly something that I've been doing on Twitch, so I suppose it makes sense. Sakura saying, it looks awesome. Nice contrast going there. Thank you, Sakura. I appreciate that. Yeah, I was doing it for a while. I had the owl, you know, done first, and then I was doing these leaves, and even looking at it as a black and white picture, they show it on the front cover like that. Oh, it doesn't have the background, but if you like think about what all these leaves would look like as a black and white picture, there's so much, you know, sort of like going on that it's really hard to, it became hard to differentiate the owl from the background, even though it's a different color from the leaves. So I figured get a little bit of that, like, it's not really a shadow, it's more of like occlusion around it, because the shadows are coming from all directions. But I mean, maybe, I don't know, there's some kind of softbox lighting on it, but you know, I still have the longer shadows here, so that I guess the light is coming from there, but I just wanted to kind of like make it pop out of the background a little bit. I guess it could be a shadow. If there's some kind of really, really diffused lighting hitting it, it would make a shadow, like, possibly like that. It's larger than life, I will say. Not really completely realistic. So we're going in, I'm trying to get all, you know, just like a big pass of like, oh, we're doing yellow, I'm going to try and get like as many of the leaves that are yellow as I can. So I'm sort of like just throwing them in different spots. Sakura's saying, that's a cool explanation. Well, don't hang me, but I never read the books. Watched the movies, though, and loved it. Nice. I just saw the movies for the first time, like, maybe 6 months ago or less. So I'm really, really new on the movies. I still haven't seen the Fantastic Beasts first movie, but I'm excited to watch it before the second one comes out, because the second one will be my first movie, Harry Potter movie, that I've seen, like, new in the theaters. So that'll be fun. But yeah, I thought the movies were good. I think the books, it's always true that the books are better, but I loved a lot of the things that they did with the movies. A lot of the movies, I think certain scenes they improved. I think there's one movie where the movie is literally better than its section of book, and that's the first half of part 7. I think the movie actually improves on the book. I think a lot of the movies improve scenes from the books, but I really love the 7th movie, which is the first half of the 7th book. Also, number 3 is great as a movie. Got some of that Alfonso Cuarón. Gotta love Alfonso Cuarón. So what would your Hogwarts house be then to Sakura? Or have you not taken the test? Have you not been tested? I'm kind of upset that I got green on the wing. There you go. Cover it up with some brown. I don't know. Maybe he got hit by a slime or something. Are there slimes in the Harry Potter universe? Is this like Dragon Quest? Sakura's saying, I have not taken the test. Actually, let me. I'm bored. So, yeah, if you go to pottermore.com, they have like the official, you could take like a BuzzFeed quiz or something, but the official one is from Pottermore, and they ask like, it's actually a really great like web form that asks you, because it's all animated and it's really slick. So go to pottermore.com, sign up for your account. And the cool thing is that like the answer is tied to your account, so you can only take the test once, which I think is great, because like on a BuzzFeed quiz you could take it a million times and get whatever you want. And I guess technically you could sign up for a bunch of different email addresses and do it, but for me, I just stuck with the one they gave me, and I like that they do that. So give that a shot. Go to pottermore.com, take your test in another window or something, or if you're leaving, then I'll see you later, and come back whenever you know your answer. So it's 6:21 a.m. in the West Coast in LA. That's what time it would be if I were streaming over there right now. Interesting. It's weird to think about that. It's always so hard for me to stay in touch with people on the East Coast, like by calling or whatever, because the times never work out. So like by the time I would get out of work at 6 p.m., it would be 9 o'clock p.m. already. So like then by the time I get home, it's like, oh crap, now it's like past 10 or whatever. It's always really hard to stay in touch, and you get more perspective on that when you're on the East Coast. Like if I'm working on the East Coast, and then I've been doing like a whole work day, and it's like, oh, in LA, like everyone just got to work, or everyone's like at lunch right now. Like it's so weird. You wouldn't think 3 hours would make that much of a difference, but it does. Let's get some sharpening in here. This might mess it up. Sakura saying, apologies, I just had to do something quick. I am back. Welcome back to the stream. Gonna try and get some sharpening in here. I don't know why this pencil sharpener isn't working. Is it full of stuff? No. I don't know why it's not working then. It's messing up my pencil though. What if I use this big one? This is like a crayon sharpener or something. Well, that worked, sort of. Oh, now it's too sharp. Ah. Oh, it's actually really good for shading because it makes it's like less of a long point on the pencil. It's like a shorter point, so that means it's got kind of like bigger, thicker sides with which to shade. Cool. Getting all these leaf stalks in here. I'm trying to, at least. There we go. Alright, that's enough red for now, I think. Let's get a couple more in here, actually. Okay, Sakura said I did a quick random test. It says Hufflepuff. Nice. Welcome to House Hufflepuff, then. I like the colors of Hufflepuff. I don't know anyone personally. I know a couple of people, actually, who are Hufflepuffs. It's like loyalty and sort of like trusting people over anything else. It's a good bunch of traits, I'd say. Damn, it's hard to... There we go. Yeah, you really got to put this thing on its side to get shading once you sharpen it, or else it'll make it really dark. And we don't want it to be like everything is colored in at maximum. That's my thing, is like I try to make it a lighter pass at first, just so that you don't if you put it at the darkest for every color at first, then you have nowhere to go from there. It's already at its darkest. But if you put it as a light pass first, then you can shade it, or you can combine it with other colors. It's harder to combine things when you already put it at max darkness for like brown or something. Oh, Sakura's saying I see you play games as well. Nice. Yeah, so the channel, just for you then, is called The Voice of Nick. If you've never seen my stuff, I play video games live 3 times a day, every single day. I don't talk over story or cutscenes, but I request no gameplay or story spoilers. That's kind of my channel's thing, is that I'm a channel focused on video game storylines. But, of course, none of that really matters this next couple of days because I'm out of town. So I'm actually in New York. Usually I'm in LA to do video game streams, but I'm in New York or in New Jersey right now to see Hamilton. I'm really excited about that. And I'm doing all sorts of like out of town style streams off of my phone or off of my laptop. So one of those being coloring book streams. Also, we have a wiki, the Voice of Nick wiki. And I sometimes do streams where I edit the wiki and add new characters and stuff, which is more fun than it sounds. And all sorts of other Q&A type streams, things like that. So there's a lot of stuff on here. I do 3 streams a day, as I mentioned, and just to sort of exemplify the output level of that, in the last 30 days I've done 200 hours of streaming. That's 8.5 combined days of streams just in the last 30 days alone. So it's a lot of stuff on here, but it's always fun. You could type !games if you want to see which games we're currently playing through on the channel. We just finished a few of them. We just finished Dead Space. I don't even know. I think I took it off the list of games that we're playing. We also just finished Red Dead Redemption. We just finished Dark Souls, and something else. We did Dark Souls and something else like on the same day we finished, but I can't remember what the other one was. It was pretty good, whatever it was. Oh, Assassin's Creed Origins we just finished. That's right. It was really good. I love that game. Oh, really? Is my chatbot not working? Hold on. I thought that my stuff was being weird. All right, hold on. What the heck is my password on? There we go. All right, we're going to see if we can remote into my chatbot PC. Now, what are you doing, chatbot? Aha, it disconnected from the client. All right, let's restart chatbot here. Okay. Well, it's good to find that early. Thank you, Sakura, for helping me find that. I thought it was weird that it wasn't sending auto messages about the channel. Usually every couple of, maybe like 10 minutes, it'll send a message that says for new people, like in this exact situation, it would say like, hey, just automatically, here's what the channel is, here's what I do, here's when you can find it. Good thing we checked on that now. Okay, so now you should be able to type games, and it should show up with something. Let me check if that showed up in the stream. There we go. Okay, thank you, Sakura, for inspiring that. Have you ever seen We Happy Few? Yeah, I've played a bit of it, and not on my stream, but on another stream, and it's great. I really enjoyed it. I played maybe like 10 hours of it or something, so I'd love to restart it on my stream and really get into it my way, because when I was doing it on the other stream, I was playing sort of like fast and loose. It wasn't really looking for the stuff that I normally, like really going through and being thorough. So yeah, I'm glad that I can kind of come back and do it my way. Space does saying, there's Nickbot. I know, Nickbot, we missed you. We missed you. So here's the little explanation about the channel. Welcome. That should tell you about the channel itself. Thank you again, Sakura. For some reason, I just wasn't noticing that Nickbot wasn't there. It's hard to notice he's not there, but when he comes back, then you're like, oh, yeah. I missed you, Nickbot. I missed you. Okay, what other colors have I not used yet? Brown I used a bunch of. We can put more brown in here. we can do... What other colors? Maybe this lighter green? Yeah, I guess that's different enough from the normal green. Oh, thank you, Sakura93, for the follow. Welcome to the channel. I'm going to give you an upside-down wave here into my phone. Welcome to the channel, Sakura. To everybody in the chat, make sure you say hi to Sakura, the newest member of the Meatball Marauders. Hello. And so to anyone who's watching the show and who hasn't been commenting or who I've been ignoring possibly, the channel is called The Voice of Nick. I play video games live 3 times a day, but I'm out of town right now, so I am doing out-of-town streams like coloring book stuff, Q&A, wiki editing, all sorts of stuff that is not video games. But typically I play video games all the time, so I, in the last 30 days, have done 200 hours of live streaming. That's 8.5 combined days of streams just in the last 30 days alone. A lot of stuff. So if you want to be like Sakura93, you want to see more of the stuff that I do, then hit that follow button to see more of that stuff. And you can type !games to see which games we're currently playing through on the channel. Welcome, Sakura, to the channel. So you have 20 meatballs now, which you can use. You might even have more from watching the show. You can use those to participate in heists or other cooperative and competitive minigames. So type !heist space, you know, whatever number of meatballs you want to put in, and then that will allow you to participate in a heist. I'll start it off here. There we go. I almost thought for a second that it wasn't gonna do it. Okay, what other kind of stuff do we got? We got this little area. We got a lot of stuff here. Now, what color have I not used? I feel like I've used them all. Use this. There's one area, there's like 2 blue leaves that I put in right here. But that's all I have done there. Hey, welcome to Minerva Giraffe. I was going to say Minor Giraffe, which immediately concocted an idea in my head of a giraffe with a coal miner's hat on, which sounds pretty great too. But Minerva Giraffe, welcome to the channel. Give you a little upside down wave here. Welcome to the channel. Everybody say hi to Minerva Giraffe, the newest member of the Meatball Marauders. Thank you for the follow. So to say it once again, the channel is called The Voice of Nick. I play video games live 3 times a day, every single day. I don't talk over story or cutscenes, but I do request no gameplay or story spoilers. Not that one can spoil a coloring book. You may notice that I'm not doing a video game now. I'm out of town doing other types of streams. So for the next day or 2, I'm going to be doing coloring book, Q&A, wiki editing streams. But certainly there will be a lot of them because even when I'm out of town, I still do streams. So in the last 30 days, I've done 200 hours of live streams. That's 8.5 combined days of streaming. A lot of stuff. If anybody else out there is interested in seeing more of my stuff, do what Minerva and Sakura did and hit that follow button. You'll see all the stuff that I do. You can type !games to see which games we're currently playing on the channel. It's hard for me to... I need to get the... oh, you know what? I can probably get stream labels on this machine as well. Let me see if I can download that right now. Because as it stands, it's really hard for me to check who has done an action like following or hosting or something like that. Damn, stream labels, not .com, just get it from here. How do I download that? We will see. While that loads, I'll continue coloring. We're almost done with this. Look at that. Wow. What am I going to do when this page is done? Do another page? Probably. Will I feel sad that this one's done? Probably. 2 probablys. let's see here. Stream labels. Where do I find this? It should be in here somewhere. There's like a specific dedicated app that will do that. Soccer saying, I'm not sure how the hosting thing works yet. Do I need to meet certain requirements if I would like to host you on my channel? No, you can do it at any time. Thank you. Thank you for the interest in hosting, by the way. All you have to do is, if you're on mobile, you go to my channel, and in the share area, you can see that there's an option for hosting. If you're on desktop, then you go to your channel, and you type /host space the voice of Nick. So it would be like this. Oh, wait, it didn't let me. Like that. Okay, so how do I download this? Is it an alert box? No. Oh, stream labels. There it is. For Windows. Give me that. I need it. Hey, me and Space Dust came out of that heist looking pretty good. Good stuff, Space Dust. Here's a little opportunity to see how the progress of the drawing is going, or the coloring book is going, because I am sitting here trying to download stream labels at the same time. Okay, cool. Let's let that go. And I think a lot of this is now going to be just like stalks. It's not even necessarily going to be leaves. So we're essentially done. Got this leaf here, this leaf here, this leaf. Get this thing, that thing, this. Look at this, it's about to be done. All right, let's connect my stream levels with Twitch so I can actually see what people are saying, or see who is following, or who's hosting, or whatever. And then we will get back to finishing this picture. Oh, hold on, they're gonna send me a text, I think. Ah! Okay, let's see if I can remember this. Did this work? Possibly. This only brought up my... This is not right. Oh, output directory. This looks more correct. Oh, you know what? If I do this, it might mess everything up, so we're not gonna do it like that. I think I can do it through the web app. Sorry for the delay, everybody. It's my first stream of this sort of like trip, so still trying to figure out how to get the alerts to work properly. Let's do this. Alerts. No, if I go to dashboard, I think then it'll actually show this dashboard. There we go. Now I can see stuff. If I just orchestrate it to look like that. Good. Hey, Space Dust, thank you for the cheer. Ooh, so we got some cheer here on a vacation stream. That means that we're going to create a Voice of Nick voice without seeing my face. Ooh, okay. I am the faceless one. I always come out at night, and I hug everyone I find. I give out hugs and I tell people very nice things about themselves and make them feel better. What, you thought I was evil? Not everyone who talks like this and is a faceless one is evil. I'm a very nice person. At least I try to be every day. And every day I try to get even better. Thank you to Space Dust for the cheer. That put you on the leaderboard, but let me get a marker in here for the faceless one. And so Space Dust, that's going to put you on the third place spot on the leaderboards. Third place, Space Dust with 300. That's a purple level cheer. Thank you, Space Dust. Second place, Ben Frost with 665. That's another purple level cheer. Thank you, Ben Frost. And first place is Frost Fairy with 1050. That's a teal level cheer. Thank you, Frost Fairy. Thank you to everyone who's supporting the stream. Once again, anybody who cheers gets a Voice of Nick voice as their shout out. But if they donate any amount or cheer above 50, like Space Dust did, then they summon a new Voice of Nick voice straight from the depths of the Nickiverse. So thank you to Space Dust for supporting the stream. Man, as I'm trying to color in these stalks, I'm noticing so many leaves that I didn't color in yet. There's so many leaves I haven't colored. How did I not notice these? Space Dust posting that Voice of Nick love. LOL. I'm glad you like it. The faceless one has been summoned. How about we get some brown leaves in here? It's definitely like autumn time in my picture when this owl is delivering his mail. I think it delivers it in the summertime, but I feel like the leaves would start falling from the trees anyway. I think of it as like a fall kind of look. Also, it's much more interesting to make all the leaves different colors than it is to make them all green. At least for me. So we're sticking with the fall look here for this owl. Okay, we got any more uncolored leaves? We got one right here. Got one right here. We're going to get them with dark green in there, or like deep green. And then we got a couple of uncolored flowers around. Let's get that, this, that. Where else? Here. Got this little leaf here. Then we got a bunch of uncolored stalks over here. Here we go. We're about to get the end of this picture. Get some shading in here on these leaves. I just like to have the stalks have a little bit of like dynamism. Soccer saying, how long ago did you start streaming? Like, when did you first start? my first ever streams were probably around like 2012 when I did YouTube Live. But that was for a different channel that I created, and I've since gotten rid of that channel. For this Twitch channel, I started maybe like... I started but didn't really do anything on it for like... Maybe that was like 2 years ago, but I actually started streaming on it maybe like 6 months ago. Like really seriously streaming on it. Maybe a little longer. 6 months to a year ago, I would say. And it's been really fun. But yeah, definitely, it's kind of crazy to think about how fast it's been going. Like, everybody has been super cool, and a lot of people have been joining along for the ride. It's been a lot of fun. I'm noticing leaves that I didn't color in up here. I suppose they say if you look hard enough, you'll always find something that you could change about your artwork. It'll never truly be done. But I say we will truly be done. So let's get this final bit of shadow in this area. And that is probably going to be it for the owl then. How about you though, Sakura? Do you do live streams? And if so, how long have you been doing it? This is looking pretty good. I think this might be it. I think this thing might be complete. Man, that's a lot of color on this page. Oh, Sakura saying I do. It literally started like Tuesday this week, so I'm still a newbie. Wow, that's awesome. I'll have to take a look. Good stuff, Sakura. Starting out. What is your thing? Like, what's your sort of video game or activity of choice to stream? Look at that, guys. Owl is complete. Giving myself a round of applause. Send some hearts, guys. We finished the owl. We finished the owl, baby. All right, so owl is complete. We're gonna have to pick another picture to draw. But yeah, guys, I'm just gonna throw a shout out in here then to Sakura. I haven't seen the streams personally, but if anyone's interested in supporting a absolutely brand new streamer, then make sure you give that channel a look. Plan on streaming art mostly, oil paintings and building miniatures. If not art, Overwatch is my main game. Cool. I would love to watch that. I guess I understand why you came to my stream then. I'm not necessarily creating art, but I am coloring in art. So I'd certainly be interested in watching a show like that. Well, we did it, guys. Now I feel like Frodo after the Lord of the Rings. Where do I go from here? How does one pick up the pieces of an old life? We have so many more pictures to do, though. Look at all these pictures. There's a zillion pictures. There's a lot of pictures. Man, this fluffy one's pretty cool. I'd like to do one with people in it, but I don't know how well I'm going to actually accomplish that. Oh, Sakura's saying let us pick one. That's a good idea. Sure. Okay, so the one thing I want to do is let's just do one that is a single. I don't think I'm ready for a 2-pager right now with like the two thing that spans 2 different pages. So let's pick one that is a single pager for now. Just flipping through these. I don't know what this is. When did this occur in the movie where Harry meets a giant Jack-in-the-Box man? Is that a deleted scene? Space Death saying Fluffy. That is a good one. Oh look, Stan Shunpike. There's the night bus. What is this? Oh, it's the Monster Book of Monsters. I don't know who this. It's a Slytherin. Is it Draco? It could be Draco, I guess. Oh, that's cool. The Dementors coming to Hogwarts, and I like this little frame. You can do a lot of cool stuff with this frame. Got the Fox the Phoenix. All right, let's say out of those pictures, because we could flip through. There's a lot of pages in this book. So out of those pages, what really sticks out to you? Space Death saying Fluffy. So I will leave it on this page for a second. I'm going to go get another cup of coffee. And put your votes in now for which picture you would want to see colored. Now I created a little thing here. I don't know if it shows up. Like that. Does that show up on camera? And then I also created, or I downloaded my own music to play. Here's Fluffy. That's the 3-headed dog. And then on the other page is a nice Hermione picture. That's fun. So we're going to take a break real quick. I'm going to go back to get some coffee, and then we'll come back. Let me put my microphone near the music here. All right, we're back. Oh, and right as the music restarted to the first song in the playlist, I take away my stay. What do you think of my stay tuned thing? I didn't have obviously like a screen I could cut to like normally, so we got this stay tuned artwork that I made. I gotta try and figure out how to like to raise this, move this forward or something. Let's try and. Uh-oh, am I gonna mess up everything by doing this? Possibly. There we go. Just to try and get the book higher in the frame. Welcome, though, guys, back to the stream. I mean, you guys have been here, whoever stayed around the whole time, but I have not. I got new coffee. You can see we got the coffee cam here, which I like. You can see the coffee at all times. That's fun. Okay, so we have Fluffy getting colored next. That's the vote. Because Sakura saying, yes, I like Fluffy, it can only be interesting. And Space Dust saying Fluffy as well. So we decided on Fluffy, baby. Let's do it. Oh, I like how he's got the keys in the background. I don't necessarily know why, because he's guarding a trapdoor that I don't think had a key on it, but maybe that's like a metaphor for Fluffy, that he is like the, sort of the key to that room. So let's decide on some new colors as just our basic colors. We're going to go with black, definitely, some brown. I don't want to, like, go too brown with it. We're going to get some red in there, probably. I'm trying to imagine what else we'd see. Maybe, like, a little bit of pink. Obviously, pink for maybe his, like, his gums and stuff. We want some yellow. Yellow is really useful for a lot of kinds of, kind of like colored tapestries or whatever. Orange. I could maybe see a little bit of orange. Not that much. Probably not any green. Yeah, I'm going to guess, if any green, very little green. Green is not typically... Soccer saying, what pencils are you using? How do I do this where it shows right side up? I think if I do it like this, it will. Staedtler Ergo Soft pencils. They're aquarelle, which I think is supposed to mean that you can dip them in water and they do something related to watercolor type stuff, but I don't know. What I really like about these pencils is that you can bring them anywhere. So also they're really good. They're like pretty soft pencils, but it's like a box that goes like this, and then you can open it and you can snap the back. You see this? Wait, I can snap the back together, so it like comes together, and then it becomes a stand. So this is, you can't really see it the way that it is, but it's standing. It stands up on its own, so you can pick them out. Soccer saying, love those. They're watercolor pencils. Nice. Yeah, I never really work in watercolor because I'm really bad at. In art school, I didn't go to school at the end of my school career for art, but I started my school career with fine arts, and whenever I would do painting stuff or drawing stuff, like I was pretty good at acrylics, pretty good at oil paintings, but I was never any good at watercolor. So that's like my one weakness. Let's assume that I only have one. Edward saying art stream. Welcome, Edward, to the show. We're going to be coloring a brand new picture here just to catch you up on the stream. We just finished this one in the Harry Potter coloring book. We did a I'm saying it's Hedwig, even though it couldn't probably be Hedwig delivering his Hogwarts letter. And we colored in all these leaves. The leaves took us forever. That took like 3 streams to do all these leaves. But now we're moving on. This is a great coloring book, by the way. It's like $15, and there's so many pages. Look how many pages are in this thing, full of like really high detailed artwork. So I'll probably never get through this, but I'm ordering the episodes as if it's a playthrough of a video game. So we're on part 3. We'll see how many episodes it takes to do this whole book. I'm gonna guess like 700. Welcome, Edward, to the show, though. Shout out to Edward, by the way. You guys should be checking out Edward if you haven't done so already. I'm going to post a little shout out in here because my hands are free. at E. There we go. Shout out to Edward. You guys should be checking out Edward. Amazing, amazing live streamer. Okay, so let's start somewhere that if I mess it up, it won't be the biggest deal in the world. So we're going to assume that he's mostly brown. Edward's saying that's a massive book. I know, right? I was surprised that it was so comparatively cheap. So let's definitely get some... Oh, crap. My pencil is breaking. Definitely want some brown in here. We could sort of fill the shadows with brown. But let's see what happens if we put a little bit of red. That's kind of cool. We get some orange in there. Now we're experimenting with like what the accent colors should be for Fluffy. Obviously brown is the main thing. But I don't like to only put the color that it seems like it should be. Of course, we're going to shade him with black. But I think we can stand to get a couple of extra things. We can, of course, shade the brown as well so that it's not like one big stream. Okay. So if we... Let's see what other colors we have here. A little bit of a deeper red. Maybe we could go with like this this kind of tan. And it comes out a little bit more yellow in the actual picture. I'm going to say red is probably a good little accent just to get some life in there. What's underneath his brown fur? Maybe he's going to have... He probably would have kind of like yellowish or tan peach colored skin. Get a little base of that in there somewhere. Something like this. This is definitely going to break in a second. This pencil. Let's get that break countdown going. How long do you think it takes until this pencil properly breaks off? We can definitely do something with shading on the brown. Sakura saying, Edward, what kind of streams do you do? Oh yeah, Sakura is looking for cool streamers to check out because Sakura is a brand new live streamer. Just started last week, I think you were saying. So that's really cool. You should definitely be checking out Edward because he does a lot of different kinds of streams. And also he has some really cool technical sort of like camera setups and stuff that he does. So definitely something to aspire to and to look at if you are trying to see like what kinds of things you can do with a stream. Oh man, this pencil is definitely about to break. I can feel it. I can feel it. Yeah, just like a little bit of red in there I think is kind of cool. It sort of accentuates it. Sakura saying this is a really random question, but how do I change my icon on Twitch? Ooh, we got a Q&A stream going. We got a tech help question in here. How do you change your icon? You go to... First, the question is, are you on mobile or are you on your phone? Wait, those are the same thing. Are you on mobile or are you on your computer? Because they're different methods. Oh, there it is. Officially broken. Good thing I brought a sharpener, though. I'm going to throw this into the sharpener. Open this thing up. Just put that piece in there. I don't have a garbage can nearby. On desktop. Okay, so you want to go to, on the top right, you have your username. Click that and go to settings. And then in the settings, it'll have the icon changer. Edward saying, broken. We did it, baby. We did it. All right, so I'm going to say the light is coming from... let's just say it's coming from like a little bit above, and maybe to the. This leg's gonna be in shadow no matter what, so we kind of, it doesn't matter where you put the shadows right now. It's gonna all be dark, but let's say the light's coming from this side. It's cutting in like that. And maybe, oh, you know what'd be cool is if there's, we're probably going to forget this by the time we get to this point on the dog, but maybe there's like a cut in like the window pane so that it really darkens at some point. That would be really fun, like sort of Game of Thrones looking lighting. But I'm going to say that this leg is going to have almost no highlights on it because it is in shadow. Welcome to the stream, by the way, guys. And anyone who doesn't know my channel, it's called The Voice of Nick. I play video games live 3 times a day, every single day. I don't talk over story or cutscenes, but I do request no gameplay or story spoilers in the stream. Of course, none of that matters right now because we are live from out of town. I'm in New Jersey right now, getting ready to go into New York City and see Hamilton, baby. Pretty excited for that. But that means for the next couple of days, I'll be doing streams that are not video game related. So coloring book stuff, Q&A stuff, wiki editing stuff, all kinds of streams that do not involve playing a video game, possibly talking about video games. But if you want to see more of the stuff that I do, you can type !games to see which games I'm playing. In the last 30 days, I've done 200 hours of live streams. That's 8.5 combined days of streaming in the last 30 days alone. So it's a lot of stuff. But you can certainly see which stuff's going on at the moment if you type !games. And of course, if you follow, you'll see more of the things that I do. Edward's saying, this is a really advanced way of coloring. I could never make anything that looks like this. Thank you, Edward. I appreciate that. I'm sure you could. You are a very multi-talented individual, and I'm going to guess that if you colored something, it would be better than mine. But the cool thing about this coloring book is that they give you a lot of kind of like suggestions for how to shade things. So like, you know, you have these sort of, these inset kind of shadow areas or just like detail areas that kind of give you some pretty cool ideas for where to put your own shadows and things like that. So on the Hedwig picture, you know, we kind of had like little suggestions, like he's a white owl or maybe like a light brown owl. I guess, yeah, light brown. But like we just kept most of it white for the highlights because we could basically just choose to put the brown wherever these sort of like suggestions of darkness were. So it's a pretty cool coloring book in that sense. I mean, for this Hermione picture on the left, it doesn't give you that. So I'm curious to see, you know, there's all different art styles in the book. This one's like very graphic art. This one's like more realistic, but with the graphic art background. This one's like really realistic. But I'm curious to go into one of those pictures that isn't a, you know, sort of like a hyper detailed bunch of light and shadow and see what it's like going in and adding our own stuff. But yeah, I like kind of trying to figure out if there's something we could do to the picture besides like the default sort of like configuration they give you. So like that lighting setup thing that we're doing is not really suggested in the picture at all, but I think it could be fun to try and, you know, give ourselves a little challenge for it, you know? Oh yeah, that red. Oh, that red looks really good. I don't know if you guys can even see the way that the red plays into the picture, but it kind of just gives you a little bit of extra pizzazz in that fur, because you don't really notice it when you're looking at it, but it does change the perception of the image. And that's one of the things that when I would do like acrylic paints or coloring with pencils or whatever, that you notice is like, or I mean painting in general, you notice that you need pigments that aren't just the color you think you're looking for. There's always like other colors out there that you're really looking for. So like skin is always going to have some red in it, even though it doesn't look red. Like nobody's skin is just like straight red, but any skin color is going to have a red aspect to it. So if you're like coloring things in, if you're coloring in like a yellow fall leaf, it will probably have almost every color in it. So it'll have like orange, yellow, red, brown, maybe even some green in it. Like, even though the color itself that you would look at it and say that it is yellow. So I always think it's fun to try and put in as many colors as we can and then see like where the limit is. All right, so we got his little nails here. Let's kind of dirty them up. And get this with like a light version of this pencil here. Oh yeah. Oh, I like that. I like that a lot. I wish I could I wonder if I can zoom in on this just to show what we're doing at the moment. Does that look any better? It's a digital zoom, so it probably won't. But it's a cool picture they're giving us. I'm excited to keep going with it. Okay, so this leg's looking okay. I might have gone a little too far with like the sort of highlights and stuff because it is supposed to be in shadow. But I guess we could do the legs if we wanted to. I kind of want to start on one of these faces. So let's maybe do this face. Whoops, there goes my headphone cable. Can you see it there? Yeah, it shows up in the frame. I have like for behind the scenes so that I can have my iPhone headphones that have the mic in them and maybe make a little bit better audio quality. I have to plug in my iPhone headphones, but then to do the headphones and make it not show up like coming straight from the side of the phone and then drooping down, I actually put a lamp that's not plugged in like right next to the camera, and then the headphone cable is like looping from the phone around the top of the lamp and then going up to my head so that it doesn't like droop down into the frame. Not really something that I would have expected to need to do. All right, so let's say that the line of this is going to be a deciding factor in whether or not this looks any good. The window, let's say, cuts off here. So the curve of it is going to be something like this. I'm going to say it wouldn't probably hit the other head. Let's try and make it hit the other head. So that it's going to cut off like this. Put a pencil for the line. So the thing comes like that. So let's say maybe the line goes like this, and then maybe this head has a tiny bit of light. It would really get hit by the shadow, but maybe the shadow for this only covers like that. Okay, so let's start messing with like let's suggest that the light is like blowing out his head. So that, because most of this picture is in shadow, so let's say that like the quote unquote camera is like sort of adjusted for the darkness, or let's say our eyes are adjusted for the darkness. So we're gonna sort of make most of this part of his head kind of white almost. And then let's go for our normal fluffy coloration here, and we'll see what kind of stuff happens if this looks any good. If it looks bad, we can always just color the rest of it in shadow. But let's go like this, and we'll start messing with a piece of light. Sort of put it in like that. Curve around the ear a little bit. We're definitely going to need some shadows like to differentiate his ear. Okay, yeah. We're gonna have to put it like this, and then it's gonna go like that, and then probably the shadows will occur here anyway. We're gonna have to figure out how those lay. I'm not like the most natural at figuring out exactly where a shadow would be. Definitely want to just occlude this. This is an example of like what we did with the Hedwig picture, where a shadow wouldn't really form in this direction, but we just want it to be there so that it differentiates the ear from the background a little bit. Okay, so stick with me here because it might get a little weird for a second. Like, it might not look like much of anything for a minute before our thing sort of takes shape. Oh, thank you, Sakura, for the host. Edward saying advanced cable management. That's what we're going for. So we're definitely using all of these suggested areas for shading. Because why not, right? If they're giving it to us, we might as well take it for free. I'm going to give this a little bit more sharpening here. This pencil sharpener is not made for this size of pencil, so it's kind of gets a little weird. All right, so let's put the shadows like that. It comes around like this. Good. So now we have like an outline for where the shadow is. Now we can sort of mess with how it lays. We want to like cut it more in so it's like more defined. But we'll do that in a little bit. Try to make this part of the ear a little darker than the other part. And this is one of the reasons why we never completely shade in any of the areas at first, because we want them to be versatile. Like if we decide to make it darker, then we can. Or if we sometimes decide to like alter the way the colors work, we can also do that. See, now it's starting to get a little bit samey though. The thing about this guy is that he really only has one base color throughout his entire body. So if we're not careful, he'll start looking like just one big hunk of color. Can't really tell what that looks like at the moment. Definitely want to get rid of some of that orange though. Not super in love with all of it. Get a little bit of the highlight color in here. It's not really a highlight color, it's like the highlights under his fur. It's like a skin highlight. So it really still doesn't highlight him, but it should suggest some ideas of highlights. And these, I'm assuming, are sort of like suggested rolls in his skin, so we'll try and accentuate that a little bit. Definitely going to be some tension around his collar, I'm going to say. So, Edward, if you are still in the stream, or to anybody else who's joining the show, what are all of your Hogwarts houses? My personal house is Slytherin. And I now own a Slytherin robe and a Slytherin scarf from the Harry Potter world in Universal. Okay, yeah, that's going to be our like little highlight area for Fluffy. But we'll hold off on coloring it for a second. I want to get some more red and a couple of other just textured colors in here. This is looking kind of cool. If nothing else, it'll look like his head has like a you know, different coloration to it than the rest of his heads. That's something we could go for as well. I guess we could make it like a designed head. You know, like some dogs have like the specific type of like fur texture or whatever. Let's very carefully try and get some extra color here. But we want to be sure not to make it like a lot, you know, like really close to his other fur texture. We also don't want it to seem like... It's kind of a tough thing to do because we also don't want it to seem like his fur is what I was talking about, where it's like cut off or something, you know? So we're going to try and suggest the idea of a lot of brown being here without going too far with it. Might require a couple of passes, but let's say that we will get there. I'm trying to make my strokes or whatever in the style of like hair or fur, so that if you were to look closely at it, it would still have kind of like the look of fur. This can definitely be shaded though, because that's not going to be hit by the light. Azure Tundra's in here. Welcome, Azure Tundra, to the stream. What? We've been going for an hour, 40 minutes already? Wow. Time sure does fly. So we're done with our owl picture. It turned out like this. Hooray! Hedwig, or whoever this is supposed to depict, is done. Now we're doing Fluffy. This one's looking pretty cool. I'm glad we... this was a viewer choice. It was a Kids' Choice Award. Decided by some of the people on stream. So thanks to everybody for suggesting this one. This is a lot of fun so far. I'm just going to try and darken like near his eye. We'll assume that he has some of that kind of like gunk or whatever that causes dogs' eyes to get a little bit dark near them. I don't know how it works, but we'll assume it. And also it'll hopefully help to kind of depress that area. Sakura's got to get going now. Only leaving for work now. We'll check in again. Can't wait to see the finished product. Thank you, Sakura, for being a part of the stream. Thank you for the follow. I'm glad you enjoyed. Uh-oh. the show. Oh, my phone is in low power mode now. Whoops. It must have disconnected. Soccer saying, stream disconnected in any case. I didn't notice that. It's so stupid. When a message comes up on your iPhone and you're streaming from your iPhone, it'll like stop the stream. It's really dumb. Anyway, thanks for being a part of the show. Thanks for the follow. Glad you enjoyed it. And yeah, I look forward to seeing you again. When I'm back in town, you'll see a lot of video games, but certainly in the next couple of days, you will be seeing plenty of out-of-town streaming. I just made an accidental stroke there. We'll see if we can fix that up later. I want to get some, like, maybe let's suggest that he has some, like, blonde hairs in this area that only really show up in the light. Which is kind of the idea of like the highlight skin color. Like maybe it's really like his skin underneath or something that's showing through. Let me know if it's working now. Hold on, I'm going to move my hand around. Refresh the page as well. It should be working now. Hopefully. I had to reset all the chat though. Hands moving. I think. You guys let me know, I guess. There it is. I see my hand moving. Cool. Let's get... Is this area on a dog... Is that his lip or is that his... I think that's his, like... His lip. I don't think that's his gums. Oh yeah, that would make sense. It's not his gums. That's his gum. Right there. I'm not sure what color that would be on a three-headed dog. I assume it's the same color as on a regular headed dog. But we're just going to make it more brown. And is it still working? It looks like it is on my phone. On my computer, it doesn't. Azurtundra saying refreshed and the feed is okay. Thank you, Azurtundra. I'm glad to hear that. Thanks for the update. Space Dust saying later, everyone. See you later, Space Dust. Thanks for being a part of the show. Okay, so the way it looks here is a little bit different than the way it looks on mine. It's important to try and get a macro level view of what's happening. We could even try to throw a stripe in here, like a, you know, maybe a lighting, just a little piece of interesting lighting of some sort. But as it stands, this part looks a little too stripey on camera. It's so weird because it doesn't look like that where I am. But you can't really adjust for that because then you'll make it too homogenized looking. I think this area of a dog's mouth kind of has a little bit of black in it. Like that. I don't really know. I gotta like look up a picture of a dog's mouth. I don't own dogs. Otherwise I'd probably know. Get a couple of red accents in here. Just a couple of them. Really light. And more of the yellow accents, because that's kind of our hero highlight color for his highlighted areas. Dog's mouth, I'm searching on the internet. Oh, yeah. It's like blacker and darker than the regular part. I knew I was somewhere near that. As Archandra's saying, there's some black and then some pink inside the mouth. Thank you, Azartundra. Yeah, so we're going to go for that black first. Let's put some, maybe a little bit of brown in here as well. His mouth's looking a little dirty now. I kind of let the black bleed a little bit outside of his mouth, and I don't think I like that much about how that looks. Not in love with that, but we got 2 more mouths to go for. All right. Oh god. Now this whole area is going to be in shadow. The teeth and the tongue are going to be definitely in shadow, but we can just try to... Man, he's got some really dirty teeth, as I've just made. Probably dirtier than I want. They look like Halloween candies. I'll try and go for this, and then we'll shade it all over. Let's get a red in there first. Tongue's gonna be obviously pink, but red's gonna be the dark areas. As Archandra's saying, how's the trip going so far? It's going really well. I got to go to my favorite Chinese food place here, and we're getting ready to go to New York City in a little bit. We watched some of Over the Garden Wall. I showed my parents Over the Garden Wall, so that was fun. And now I'm coloring stuff in. I've only been here for, a little bit, but yeah, it's going well. Thanks for asking. How's your day going? Yeah, there we go. We're just shading this whole area. It kind of... I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't have shaded it, but I feel like it would have been too... It would have stuck out too much. It just dirties it. Like, I don't know that I love it that way. That's okay. Kind of dirty up some of this stuff too. Now that we have done that, we'll get some black under his eye. Got some eyeliner. Give him a little pink area. I'm gonna need to sharpen this if I'm doing that. I don't know what color his eyes are supposed to be. I kind of would like to not look up the characters themselves and sort of create my own versions. So I'll sort of just make that up. Let's make the eye... First of all, it's got to be shaded. You can't forget to shade the eye when you're doing it, because eyes are not just white. They have all sorts of colors in them. Make his eye like a... I don't know. I mean, it's really just a black eye, actually. I don't think that is supposed to be colored. Yeah, because it's that's only the pupil. But I am gonna just get a little bit of yellow in here. Just give him kind of like a yellowish looking eyeball. As Rotunder's saying, it's nice to go home, huh? It's still early here, so I haven't done anything yet. Oh, okay. Yeah, for me it's 7:45 a.m., so it's even early here. I guess I didn't really think about that. What color is a dog's nose? Is it... See, that's something I will look up, is like regular dogs. Oh, a dog's nose is just black. Yeah, I guess I knew that already. I don't know why I needed to look it up. But it looks like it might have some hints of brown, some hints of colors in there. So let's do that. Let's give this its own little texture too. Give it a little bit of brown. Give it a little bit of red. A smidge of yellow. Okay, I like this. We muddied his teeth way more than I should have. Probably won't... I probably picked a bad spot for this light to cut across because it's like so... It's divorced from everything else. Maybe we should put another cut of light. Like as if... What kind of even window would that be? Maybe it's 2 different windows or something. But like... The light cutting here... You almost have no opportunity to see the fact that it's a light cut. You know, like the light from a window or something. So like it kind of just looks like his head has like a different shade on his head. But as we go, it'll be fixed. I mean that it's all dependent on context. So that'll solve itself if we add more stuff. And let's get some under the mouth shading here. We kind of want to 3Dify some of his head here. Try and get the inside of his brow. Try and get this part of his head. The underside of his mouth. Yeah, cool. Alright, so then this part of him is hit by the light. Let's say that the shadow hits this head, like here. And then this part is also hit by the light. And now that... Wait, how would this... That doesn't make sense. Hold on. The light is hitting this much of his head here, so... It would probably hit all of this other head. And his head here is connecting here. So it would actually go like this. And it would probably hit, like, almost all of this part of the head. So this is going to inform whether we understand the light cut or not. Because as it stands, it doesn't really look like it's cutting in with light. It looks like it's cutting in with like a texture on his head. So if the light cut hits like this, it might fix that. And that's why I'm talking about it's always about context with these things. Alright, so if we hit him with darker fur here. Azurtundra saying noses are usually black. Thank you, Azurtundra. I'm sure you said that when I was talking about the nose, but I'm only reading it now. We got some good amount of furry to go. We got our fluffy. We have one head done out of the 3. And then this part is probably going to be, again, like the owl picture where it's just like a lot of tedium. But you know what? Yeah, let's try and get the second head in here. How long have we been going? I gotta check my own uptime here. Almost 2 hours, wow. This leg is probably gonna get hit with a lot of shading because I'm sure it won't stick out against the head for very long. It's probably going to look dirty by the time we're done. There's not much we can do about that. Okay, let's see here. Yeah, so this is the part. Oh no, this is the part of his lip that would be black, and then this is just like a lip. So I think that this will be brown, and the other part will be black. And it's important to also kind of, we're still going to shade it within the shadow area, and not forget about which parts are supposed to be darker than others. Alright, so we're going to give this lip its own sort of situation. We still need to, of course, put, our different little accent colors in here. Just to, give it some life, make it feel like it's not just brown. This has a lot of colors involved in the different areas besides brown. Let's try and make this lip a little bit more organized. I think that ends up being a little better than the other one. And then this is going to be, gums. So let's try and get the gums in there. Oh no. Oh crap. What did that say? I got some kind of message. Thank you guys for Tundra Frozen Feed. Bummer. I hate that the phone will cut your feed when you do these kind of iPhone streams just when it wants to give you a message. I couldn't even read what that message said though. Just to inform everyone who's watching the show, the stream is coming off an iPhone, and when you are on an iPhone and it wants to give you a message, or if someone calls you, or if it says like battery is low or anything, it will cut the feed in order to tell you that. I guess it just has something to do with like whatever the feed has to be in the foreground in order, it has to be the currently open app for it to, actually be streaming, so that you can't like accidentally stream while it's in your pocket or something. But it's really annoying either way. Like, I wish maybe that it could send me like a message or like a ping or something. It should make a noise when it's doing that. So I'm gonna just cut in with some black on these gums because they look too squeaky clean. I feel like his gums would be dirty. They'd have like some kind of like disease to them or something. Whatever gum issue gives it black gums. Or just because they need shadow. I don't know. Whatever it is, I just felt like his gums were too perfect. I definitely went overboard with these teeth, but hopefully I can maybe do it a little better with these. And let's try and really gently give this some shadow because this is not going to be facing the light at all. I think that's a little better. Let's maybe put some blood on his teeth. Just, just because. It might not be blood. Maybe it's just part of his teeth. I don't know. As a turner saying, can you use a white pencil to fix the other dog? Maybe? No. Yeah, colored pencils unfortunately don't work that way. But, I mean, I guess I could try it. Sometimes they do. It depends on what kind of colored pencil it is. Yeah, you can't do it. But I think it's fine. There's going to be mistakes either way. Also, technically, they're all the same dog. Haha. As a turner saying, I remember a lot of drool from the movie. That's true. We gotta try and incorporate some drool. We're just gonna shade the area where it connects to the leg. Just because we really don't want that to get lost as one big like form. And my phone is currently at 7% battery. That means the stream is currently at 7% battery. Okay, cool. So we got this area. We're going to stick in some red, some other colors just to liven it up, sort of. Again, it's important for me to not make it just like brown. Even if you don't really see the other colors, it does influence the way that you interpret the image for there to be like other colors in there. Or what I should say is that you don't think you see other colors, but you do. Frost Fairy's in here. You're out of town right now, Nick? Yeah, so I'm out of town for the next couple of days. I'm seeing Hamilton, baby. I'm excited. So going to be doing a bunch of out-of-town streams once again. It's a very out-of-town kind of week this week. But I don't think I have anything else on the books for a while. Welcome to the stream, Frost. So now we're going to see if our light cutting thing works, because it's basically cutting the light here and it's cutting the light here. And we'll see if it reads properly. If not, we can always go back in and just sort of remove the lighting effects if we wanted to. So this area is definitely going to be dark. This like eye that's in the shade here. Okay, let's get some red areas here. He kind of looks like a bear to me. I don't know. I read bear when I look at this. Maybe it's my coloring job. Maybe it's just because he's a very ferocious looking, snarling, brown-haired thing with paws. He kind of did always look like a bear a little bit. Maybe dogs just look like bears. Who knows? A lot of questions. I'm doing too many squiggle lines and not enough straight lines. On this one, I did very organized kind of straight lines. Frosting, it does kind of look like a bear. As you're trying to say, that's what I was thinking. It looks like a brown bear. I have the remarkable ability to turn a dog into a bear. All right, yeah, let's try and organize this a little bit better. Keep making straight lines. Because here, all the lines are coming sort of from the nose. You probably can't really detect that on the stream. I don't think it's high enough resolution to see. Maybe it is. But, yeah, we'll try and keep doing that. I don't want to lose that. That's a really important thing to me in shading, is like the direction that you shade is important. So I try not to just like shade in all directions, but like actually give it a texture coming from a certain way, and it can actually sort of, influence how the picture looks. I'll definitely take a picture of the finished Hedwig one as well to post on the Discord. What do we got? 3% battery. Uh-oh. We're probably going to have to cut this one short, baby. I say cut it short. It's been like 2.5 hours already. But we're going to have to cut this show before we are forced to cut the show. So, guys, let's call that a show. Fluffy. In progress. A work in progress. But it's going pretty well. So, guys, the channel is called The Voice of Nick. Thank you for joining the show, everybody. I play video games live 3 times a day, every single day. I don't talk over story or cutscenes, but I do request no gameplay or story spoilers. Now, none of that really matters this week because I am out of town, so I'm doing all sorts of other kinds of streams besides the normal video game streams. So definitely join along. If you are interested in seeing more of the stuff that I do, then hit that follow button. In the last 30 days, we have done 200 hours of live streaming. That's 8.5 combined days of streams just in the last 30 days alone. So that's a lot of stuff, guys. Definitely hit that follow button to see more. Now let's see, what kind of thing would we want to join here? We got... Let's do one of these, if we can find one. So yeah, definitely join along. You can type !games if you want to see which games we're currently playing on the channel. And you can, I think that's all you can do. Type !games. If you like the channel, you want to support the stuff that I do and get a whole bunch of cool stuff in return, then consider subscribing. Subscribers get a whole bunch of stuff, including the Voice of Nick emote, legendary status in the chat and Discord, 200 meatballs, higher chance to win in the heist minigames, and ad-free streams. Subs also get the brand new sub badge, as well as access to the sub movie night. Another great way to support the stream is to cheer or donate. Cheerers and donators both get custom Voice of Nick voices as their shoutouts, and they could end up on the leaderboards. I can't read the leaderboards out now because the phone's about to die, but all of our cheers and donators, you are very much appreciated. Another great thing you can check out if you want to support the show and also get a cool thing in return is to pick up merch, !merch in the chat. All right, thanks to everybody who joined the show. We're going to join this person, Cezadactyl. Cezadactyl is currently doing a really cool painting of Disneyland, so that's fun. And also appropriate to what kind of show we're doing right now. So let's raid Cezadactyl, guys. Make sure you post that raid emote in there. Post that Voice of Nick love if you got it. And of course, let's all be nice to Cezadactyl, whose stream we're joining at the moment. I will see you all next time. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.
The Voice of Nick. Hello. Thank you so much for the raid. How are you?